Captain totally mistook you.
Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller, Prospect, and welcome to my Patreon Appreciation Live show. And this is for the month of June. All of my members in the month of June, thank you all very much, including my secret Patreon member that I'm wearing my special Pabst Blue Ribbon shirt for. It's Jason. One of my better Patreon members because he never guesses and tries to win any of my prizes. But let me catch up on chat really quick. If I can remember what I'm doing here. There we go. Catch up on chat. Everyone popped in. Shane Brithero, thank you for joining the show, even though you're 4 hours early. Weezen Geezer, Ozark Buck, Refotris, how's it going? Vendetta, what's up, brother? It's way too hot to be out there prospecting, man. Kristen Reed, Michael Reed, thank you both for being here. Appreciate y'all. Chasing Cheddar with Curtis, how's it going, brother? Thank you for joining the show. Mentally Corrupted, how's it going, brother? Mark Sheldon, how are you? Ready to win, hopefully. Hopefully see how good your guess is. Wesley, how's it going? I need to apologize, Wesley. I keep trying to put out that video and I'm just sucking at it every time. I don't know what it is. I'm just so thin with having to be at my house, fix my stuff at my house, do all my stuff, and then my daughter's new house is just, then my new schedule with my son, it's a nightmare. I'm trying to get it out, though. I'm trying to get it out. Donna, thank you for being here and being a mod, and Mark, and everyone, thank you all for being mods. I appreciate it. KC String, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Oh, and Shane Prothero is back. Thank you for joining the show. David Disotels, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Chris W., thank you for being here. Stephen LeBlanc. I think I got everyone. Gene Cloth, thank you for being here. John Gear. All right, I obviously missed some people, but if I miss you, just keep talking. I'm sure I'll see you in a minute. Steven Stark, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Whiskey Lover, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. 109. Yeah. So I don't miss the hot days. I lived in Palm Springs, California for a few years, and I don't miss it. I don't miss the heat. Now, the one thing I will say about Palm Springs was really, really nice as soon as the sun went down. When the sun went down, it was, it was wonderful, But until that point, it was absolutely miserable, Like I remember the first time, I probably told this story a few times. The first time I got moved to Palm Springs and we went downtown, everyone's wearing had sweaters around their waist, or they were carrying sweaters. And it was like 110. And I'm like in t-shirt and shorts. I'm like, why is everyone carrying sweaters with them? I'm like, are these people all insane? And then as soon as the sun went down, it dropped like 25 degrees instantly. Just as soon as the sun goes in. And you wouldn't think 80 degrees would then be hot, cold, but it is. When it drops that suddenly, you're like, oh, shivering, and like, can I borrow your sweater, sir? Adam Weiss, thank you for joining the show. Hours Crafted, Alaskan Assassin, thank you very much. Jeff, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Keith and Wynn, Stephen Curry, Josh Ortiz, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. So, busy night, thank you. And Jeff Bush, thank you for joining the show as well. So, but yeah, I don't like the heat too much. So, 110, yeah, see. I was about to die the other day. My son, I give him a list every, during the week of stuff he can do to earn some money around the house, But most of the stuff is all stuff, just to help me do stuff, to fix stuff around the house. And for whatever reason, the other day it was like 93 degrees. He decided that I need to, all the nails from my shed that popped out, metal shed, and I need to replace them. I need to replace some wood in there too and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, let's go do that so we can make some money. Man, I almost died. Luckily, we ran out of screws. I was like, nope, we're done for the day. Like, otherwise I'd have probably passed out. I haven't even started fixing my money pit hole yet either because of that. So I need to fix that before we have a big rain and just sucks up the rest of my yard. It's been dry, so I haven't been worrying about it, but yeah. Nope. I think it was a high 80s today. That was it. So it was pretty nice weather here today. Not too bad. Yeah, here, the humidity here will get you too. 100% humidity all around. I don't know. My cat only comes in when I do the panning shows. My cat never comes in here. As soon as I do the giveaway shows, he comes in here like he's going to get, like when I say giveaway, he's getting something. But he's not. Oh. Yeah, I am rocking the PBRT in celebration of my Patreon, my secret Patreon member. Yeah. The man who never guesses and never tries to steal any of my gold from me. Or not steal, win. Not tries to win any of my gold from me, so we'll have to see. But yeah, tonight we're going to be giving away some Paydirt. I have it here. So we're giving away, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of Paydirt tonight. We have some sticker packs as well. For second place, we have a copper Silver Eagle from Cajun Bullion that's going to be priced. And also I'm adding a 4th place for the $25.79 tier. And for the sticker packs, I'll be throwing one of these in each. These are from Whiskey Lover. He sent me some stuff to give to the channel. So we got some 1-ounce copper rounds. They've been painted over with the prospector on them. So we're giving away 3 of those today. It'll be a 4th place for the $25.79 tier. So, you know, even if you're absolutely horrible at guessing, you still got a chance of getting something. Sean McClellan, thank you for joining the show. So, but we'll be doing that. But first, I need to thank you all. Thank all my Patreon members, all my subscribers. Thank you all very much. I couldn't do the videos I do without y'all. So far, we've had a good year. We've done some good reviews. I started, I think it was last month, I started a daily ROI chart. So every single day, Monday through Friday, I try to find the best ROIs. I go through all the sellers, update all their ROIs, just to try and help everyone, you know, make a good decision about your Paydirt. You don't want to buy an 80% bag of Paydirt and then find out you could have bought a 90% bag of Paydirt for the exact same price, you know. So I'm trying to do that. This month, I am going to update it. Not this week, but next week, I am going to update it where I'm going to try to put in more quarter grams, half grams, things like that. I'm also going to divide up the daily ROI sheet so you could just look at, you know, 5 gram bags, 3 grams, 1 grams, half grams, and quarter grams, just to make it a little easier. You know, if you got $50 to spend, you'll know where to look. You know, if you've got $500, you'll know where to look. So, but nothing's been popping up. I mean, we've had a couple 100% ROIs show up and get sold out. You know, those are always good. So it's, you know, little things I could try to do to give back to my Patreon members, you know, that don't take me too much time in between shooting videos. For the rest of the year, we still got quite a few new Paydirts that I haven't reviewed yet. They're going to be doing, got some new battles coming up. Some eBay videos, going to be doing that. But this month, July, the entire month of July is going to be gold nugget sales. This whole month, I'm going to have gold nugget sales. Now, I might throw in a, like, you know, sluice video or something like that. But all of the Paydirt for this month is going to be gold nugget sales. And because of that, we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways for my members. I think 1 or 2 bags every single Tuesday this month. And if I do 2 bags, if it's 1 bag, it'll be open to everyone. If there's 2 bags, 1 will be open to everybody, and the second bag will be Patreon only. So if you join the live shows, if you typically don't, this is a month to watch the live shows. This month, like I said, Tuesday, you can see them all behind me. I have a whole bunch of half-gram bags from Mike over at GNS. I've got more coming in. So I'm going to be giving away a lot of bags of Paydirt from Mike, you know, because I don't mind giving away other people's stuff. So, but some of them will be, you know, just to make it for my Patreon members, get a little bonus. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to run it, but we'll do something. Poachers, there you go, brother. Oh, yeah, and Paydirt's for the winner. All right, Tiny Cat, go. I don't know what he thinks. I got food. I just heard his food bowl go off, too, so he's got food upstairs. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Nightbot with the facts. So, but yeah, we're going to be doing some stuff, and we're going to be giving away some stuff this month. We're going to have, like I said, a lot of giveaways. So if you're a Patreon member in July, you're going to get a lot more stuff than you did in June, but we'll have to do that, you know. Tonight, here, let me post. We're just going to pin it to the top. How's it going, Bierman? Come on, Nightbot, work. So there we go. We're just going to pin it to the top today. If you go to the top of chat, you can win one of the mystery envelopes tonight. We're going to be giving those. We got 8 left. They either have a gold-plated dime or a little bit of Miller Prospecting gold in them. You can win that tonight as well. So lots of stuff to give away tonight. I do need to double-check all my stuff. I was in a hurry trying to get it all sorted. During the week, I was moving stuff into new folders, and if anyone's ever used OBS, OBS does not like it when you move stuff to different folders because then it can't find that stuff. So I had to reconfigure everything. So yeah, I didn't know that either. Nightbot taught me something else too. But I will say, I didn't tell him July is typically one of the better months for gold. So, while Nightbot is telling you facts for last month, and actually last month was actually a pretty good month for a better than typical month for June for gold, because I think it hit 108 something per gram. And it had a lot of lower ones. At the end of the month, it was down to, I think the lowest was like 104 something. But now it's back up to 107. So it's doing its little $3 up, $2 down, $3 up, $2 down. So what are you going to do? All right, let me change chat to live chat because, there we go. What numbers are left to pick tonight for the envelopes? For the envelopes, the ones missing are number 1 and number 7. So number 1 and number 7 are missing. Casey's already like, he wants to know. Yeah, number 1 and number 7. And I don't know, like I said, I put 7 dimes and 3 pieces of gold in the envelope. So that's your odds of winning something. Now, I will say they weren't the best pieces of gold. I've been trying to find nicer, bigger pieces without, I can't obviously put 1 gram nuggets in those things. So you got to try and find the flat pieces that also aren't too thick, that they won't mess up the card and, won't break my bank. So they got to be about the same cost as the gold plated dimes, a little bit more. So, but I did get some more. I've been going through my stuff, so I'll have some new ones soon. But yeah, so, and today's gonna be a short show. We don't have a lot of panning to do. We're just going to give stuff away. Thank you everyone for that. So, and as always, let me do this. Here, what is it? I'm trying to remember what I did, but there you go. And also, Bradley Lacey, Ozark Buck is doing a raffle for Operation for Pause Co. I've just posted a link. Make sure you go over there if you haven't. There's a ton of prizes. I think there's something like 12 half-gram bags and 3 or 4 other bags of Paydirt, smaller bags of Paydirt. But there's a ton of Paydirts. I've got 2 half-gram bags. Those are the ones on the shelf behind me. They're going to be up in the raffle. It's $10 a spot, maximum of 3 spots. So you don't have to worry about somebody, somebody with deep pockets just buying up all the spots and winning all the prizes. So make sure you go there. If one of my mods wants to, every once in a while, or anybody that's in chat want to type in Ozark every once in a while to keep pushing that. So, because I do believe that ends this week. So I would love to retire in Oregon too. I'd love to retire anywhere and just not do anything. Just get old and fat like Jabba the Hutt. Just lay there and have people bring me stuff. And people I don't like, put them in the hole. David Danduran, thank you very much for joining the show. Tomcat Josh, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So, but yeah, gold's been doing pretty, I don't want to say good. I'm not a huge fan ever since it went past 75, but it's not, it's not spiking at some alarming rate. It's not doubling overnight. I will say I was pretty worried that it was going to really drop when, Japan, China just unloaded all their bonds, $8 trillion or $8 billion worth of bonds, whatever they did. They just unloaded all their bonds. So they've been buying a lot of gold. So I think to make up for the gold, they just unloaded all their bonds. So I was worried gold was going to really, really drop like too much, because as much as I would prefer if gold was, less than 100, you don't want it all of a sudden to be worth $60 tomorrow. So Pint-sized Panners, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Dale Felsman, thank you for joining the show. Anyone, if I miss you, I appreciate you joining the show. Today's just ugly mug time. We're not actually doing any panning. I didn't even set up my sink. because I've got to do some panning after the show to shoot a video. So didn't want to set it up. You know. And what other news? What other news we got? That's about it. There's not too much going on. You know, same old with Miller prospecting. You know, I didn't go out, you know, break a leg or anything like that. It wouldn't really affect me if I did. I could just roll down into the basement and start shooting some videos. So we'll have to see. But let me go through the prizes. Let me see. Where is my sheet? Let me make sure so I don't mess this up, because I will mess this up if I don't. So, but yeah, for the $25.79 tier, we've got 4 prizes, right? 4 prizes? Yeah, 4 prizes. We got a bag of Paydirt with first place, obviously. There's a bag of Paydirt with 1.6 grams of gold in it. Second place, the same, a Miller Prospecting Tuesday Tailings with 0.4. Third place is, what is this? 4.7 ounce copper eagle from Cajun Bullion. And then fourth place is the 1 ounce copper round that was sent to me by Whiskey Lover. So thank Whiskey Lover a whole bunch for that. Appreciate that. It's way too kind of them. Now for the $10 tier, we got 2 prizes. We got a bag of Paydirt first place, 0.8 grams of gold. And in second place, we have a sticker pack. So there's a whole bunch of stickers in here. And then also a copper round as well. Not that one, because I dropped it and don't know where it went. Yeah, we got the copper round, that one, the eagle, same on one side. Prospector on the other, and that is second place. Then for the $5 tier, we have a bag of Paydirt with 0.4 grams of gold in it, and then a sticker pack in second place with this. So with the copper round. Again, from Whiskey Lover. So thank you very much, Whiskey Lover. Again, I did see him in chat earlier, so thank you very much for that. And then for the free, if you're just a free member, Patreon member, and you guessed and you get it first place, you get a little bit of Miller Prospecting Gold that I slaved over my sink to get for you. Keith and Win. Yeah, that's the thing, is the more people are going to get into prospecting, the higher the gold gets. I mean, it's just, especially, you know, and I hate to say this, but especially because of Facebook. You're going to see, I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook of people, oh, I just went out to the river, found 3 ounces of gold. You know, you're going to see a lot of that. I mean, I saw somebody the other day posted showing that, you know, they spent an hour and they found 3 grams of gold. And it's, you know, they might have found that, but it was probably on a private claim that they knew where the gold was and they spent months looking for, you know. But, you know, because of that, people are going to start going out to the creeks and the rivers and the beaches and whatever they can do, because they're going to say, oh man, if ugly old mug Miller can go out to the river and find 3 grams in 1 hour, I should be able to find it too. Nice shirt. This was in honor of you, you know, my secret Patreon member. Since, you know, you didn't guess on the Nuggets, you know, I got to thank you in some way, so I figured I'd wear my Pabst Blue Ribbon shirt. But how have you been doing, Jason? Hopefully all is well with you. Hopefully it's not getting too hot up there. You shouldn't be too hot yet. Yeah. More northern you are, the better the weather is in the summer. So, but yeah, so those are the prizes. Now we're going to go through the guesses. Let me see if I did this right. Let me see. We'll go through all the guesses. Who are we doing? We'll start with the $25.79 tier first, because they're the most complicated. So, yeah. There we go. So, yeah. So, the $25.79 tier, we had Jacob E. with a guess of 2.37, Josh Ortiz 1.45, David Desautel 3.6, KC String 1.74, Whiskey Lover 6.31. And you think, with as much gold as you buy, Whiskey Lover, I think you were the farthest away from this. Cockatoo Birdman Bill 1.88, Golden Dragon James 4.34, Mark Sheldon 3.71, Joel Jeffrey 2.14. If I butcher anyone's name tonight, I really do apologize. We're going to blame it on the South. In Southern schooling. Justin Framstead, 3.87. James Culver, 3.15. Keith and Wynn, 3.33. HD Chevrolet, 3.77. Alan Curie, 3.47. Teo, 4.55. Mike Reed, 2.79. Richard Spider Davis, 3.93. Raptor Rides, 3.21. Wrenches Repairs, 3.49. Wiesengeezer, 3.32. Rebel Dog, 4.45. And PA Patriot, 4.26. So those are all the guesses for the $25 and $79 tier. 2.5 grams. That's pretty good. See, I believe you. Facebook, you always got to wonder on Facebook, especially people you don't see like posting all the time. How's it going, Mike? How are you doing? How was this morning's show? I was going to text you. I totally spaced on your show until 1 o'clock. At exactly 1 o'clock, I was like, oh my God, 11 o'clock show. Turned it on, you were over. So I wanted to see how you were going to do during a morning show to see what the buyers are like in the morning. So that was the morning show. Was it any good? Or do you prefer the nights? All right, and we're going to do the $10 sheet now. If I can get my OBS to. If I can find it. OBS does not want to find the $10 sheet, so hold on. There we go. All right, for the $10 members, you've got Brad Thompson, 1.69, Knights 880, 2.17, Robert Caldwell, 2.73, Reglab, 2.53, Wesley, 1.73, Stephen LeBlanc, 2.41, David Edgar, 2.3, Sean McClelland, 2.87, Randy Klatt, 1.76, Quentin Shaner, 2.48, Dorothy Richardson, 3.15, Richard Dow, 3, package total, 1.15, Jason Gastoni, 3.10, and William Pulley, 2.66. So thank you all very much for being Patreon members, including the ones I already called out that I didn't thank. Thank you all for being Patreon members. All right, we'll do chat real quick. Yeah, you do need a shower, brother. Mowing your lawn. Yeah, I have to mow my lawn now and my daughter's lawn. So, yeah. $180 ounces in a day? That's a lot of gold in a day. Yeah, that's what I think everyone probably missed today's show. Mike was probably just giving away gold today. Yeah, I think anytime during the day, like I've done a live show when I've had it during the day, it's just not as much. I follow people when they do live shows and they do them during the day and then they do them at night. Typically the night gets more because more people are off of work. More people working during the day, you can run errands, you do more stuff. I always think, I typically, like, even when I sell on eBay or anything, I always list stuff later at night. So, but how's it going? I'm Zaxton, and thank you, by the way, for joining the show, Mike. Appreciate it. Now let's do, what is it, the $5 sheet, $5 members. So for all my $5 guessers, let's go through them, and thank you all very much for being Patreon members. Here we go. We got Matt Philly at 2.37, David Danderan at, what's he at? 2.46, Chris W, 2.86, Henry Vaughn, I'm not going to try, 2.74, Tom Cuneo, 1.7, Blake Tolson, 3.12, Paul Preston, 2.65, Jeff Boge, 2.98, J-Dog, 3.14, Alan Jackson, 1.77, Jeffrey Button, 2.38, Kristen Reed, 2.85, Refotris 2.89, Chris Vanilla 2.8, OOP Games and Hobby 3.17, Charles King 3.01, Richard Zyke 2.2, and Eric H 2.51. So that's it for the $5 members. Thank you all very much for being Patreon members. And then we're going to do the free members. We have unlimited gold. He does. He's got a giant safe pool full of it, and he goes swimming in it every morning. Mike's just got a pool full of gold nuggets he lays in it every night. So, all right, let's do. And, you don't have to be a paying Patreon member to get a chance to win something. So you can always join my Patreon for free. Let's do the $5 members. All right. Let's see if we can change this to the free members. So there we go. Oh, what is that? Yeah. Yep. All right. So there are our free members. Let's go through those. And that's Jason Earp at 3.48, John Ehrman, 3.11, Jeff Betts, 3.78, Jeff Backey, 3.28, Curtis Gissinger, 2.78, Aaron McDowell, 3.33, Jeff O'Reilly, 4.14, Terry Mowry, 2.47, the Gold Baron, 2.99, Caleb DeWitt, 3.25, Raymond Vilthova, 3.19, Scott Beaumont, 2.07, Dave, 1.38, Papa and Bug, 5.25, Mandy Brown, 2.51, Ray, 2.66, Flash in Your Pan, 2.95. How's it going, Ed? Casey Slecko, 2.16, Kyle Gibson, 4.45, and John R. Prospecting. Not just John Prospecting, John R. Prospecting, 2.82. So those are all the guesses. Thank you all very much for guessing. Here, let me see if I can put the picture of the nugget up. I didn't prep for it. But here, let's do. I should keep close to this thing. Let's get rid of the review sheet. Let me see if I can find an image. Yeah, what is it? 4720? $74 2020. Let me see. All right, there we go. So we'll put that's the nugget up there. That's what everyone was guessing on. So think about your guess. Think about if you got right. So I will say one thing. For this month, once, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday when I do the new gold guessing, I did notice one thing with my new daily ROIs. It's moving the gold guessing further and further down the list. So what I'm going to do is this month, once I post the gold guessing, I will pin a comment to the top of Patreon, which will say gold guessing, and it'll have links to them so you can just get to them faster than trying to scroll down and find it. It also remind everyone to guess, because I know there were a few people that missed guessing and didn't get to guess, and this morning realized that they had missed their guess. So I will be putting a pinned comment this time with so you can guess and make it a lot easier for. 308 Prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Adam, you forgot? Yeah. So that's what I said. I'm going to do a pinned comment. I know I try to do reminders on Patreon, but then, like I said, I'm doing a daily ROI chart every single day, 5 days a week, to help y'all find the best ROIs. But over the course of a month, after the second Saturday I post the gold guessing, you're going to have, 15 days in between that. They're just going to keep pushing them further and further down. So I'm going to start doing some pinned comments. Oh, my cat's in there sneezing. So yeah, think about your guesses. That was it. We're going to do the reveal in a second. After I make sure I go through everything, we can start picking out, showing the winners and stuff like that. And I'm Zaxxon. How you been doing, Heather? How you been doing? Hopefully good. You made yourself work. What is wrong with you? You are not a good boss to yourself. That's the problem with when you work for yourself. You can't fire yourself and you can't quit. I spent years working for myself and I hated my boss every day. 2.77. So I'm calling that one the dragon heart, just because, I tell everyone I collect heart-shaped nuggets, but sometimes I don't get to really define that they're heart-shaped. There's only so many heart-shaped gold nuggets out there. So I got to try and, I have a very small nugget collection for my kids. I do try to name all of them. I used to name them, it'd be like, Arizona Nugget and stuff like that. But I don't think anyone really cares where they're from unless they're, really special pieces. Like I do have one from the Harvard mine, so I have that one labeled the Harvard mine. But if it's not from anywhere, if it's just Arizona, it's just Arizona. You got to have a name for it. It makes it sound cooler. So, you say it's Dragon Heart. That sounds much better than just, nugget with, I got it at Paydirt, If that nugget weighs 3.15, it's rigged. That is what most of the number 11 person picked. So I was going to go through it. I promise this month I will start keeping track of what number has been winning in each one, what the average win is. But I did look, and I even thought to myself, I was like, oh, I should really start tracking to see where about it's going to be. I will say, Weezen, who I think was the last guess for the $25.79 tier, or the second to last guess, or right close. He guessed yesterday or early yesterday. He went through everyone's guess and divided it by the number of guesses, and that's what he put down as his number. So, and I will say he was close. He was close. I won't tell you if he won or not, but it wasn't a bad theory and a bad way to do it. So, especially since he came in late. Now, the only problem with that is if you wait, the whole time and then you guess, someone else might have guessed closer a lot earlier, and then they win by, being close. What's up, PA? How's it going, brother? So, but now I'm going to go look. I'm going to see. So I have to look at all of them because you can't just see KC. You only see the $25.79 tier. So I can see all of them. So I'm trying to see what all of them are. I will say the winner is usually in the very middle. So, but yeah. We're going to find out in a minute if it's, and they're always rigged, KC. We couldn't do these things if we didn't rig them one way or another. Oh, all right. I just actually closed my chat by accident. I thought it was it was 3.32. Yeah. What am I doing for the 4th? I'm not doing anything. I think, what is the 4th? I mean, I know it's 4th of July, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think with my schedule with my son. So, yeah, nothing. So I'm actually going to be shooting a video. I'm actually going to be shooting a video 4th of July. So I have to do it early in the morning, though. I'm probably going to edit, because usually I edit videos Friday morning. And then if I decide to shoot part of one, I shoot Friday night. I'll shoot part of a video. But I have to do it opposite this time because of the fireworks. Because I know once it hits like 4 o'clock, people in the neighborhood is going to start, shooting off their bottle works and firecrackers, whatever they can do. So I'm probably just going to be editing a video Friday. I have to do a lot of editing for this Saturday's video. So go back because someone had 3.33. Yeah, it's all fun and games until you guess really close to someone wheezing. I'm never close to it. I'm horrible. Yeah, see, I know what the weight is, but by the time the month goes, so what happens is I shoot the film, I shoot the whole video here, guess this, and I shoot the video of me actually weighing. And then I put all my videos in a folder, and I don't touch them again until essentially today. This is the next time I see the videos. And when I'm doing these spreadsheets, I have the gold on the spreadsheet, off camera, so you can't see it. So I can do all the math to see who the winner is. And before I can update it, because I have all the formulas are from last month, I have to put the new nugget size in. I always guess, and I'm always way off. Like I would never win, not even close. I would be one of the people, and I know generally the size too. Like I know, like if it's a 1 grammer, I know I pulled it from a 1 gram bag of Paydirt or a 2 gram. I know the general size. So it's not like I'm going into it totally blind. Like if it's a 5 gram nugget, I'll know, hey, that's a 5 grammer. I remember it being a 5 grammer. And I'll be like, oh, it's 5.8. And it'll be like 5.01. Or I'll be like, oh, it's 5.01. It was like 5.99. So I'm not very good at guessing. But now I will say though, since I know I'm not good at guessing, I always tell people, oh, I don't enter giveaways because, it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair for my ego when I lose all the time. So what's up, John? Wrenches, repairs, and prospecting. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I love the heart-shaped ones. I do. The heart-shaped ones, it's just, like I said, the only gold I save is for my kids. That's it. I don't have any, that I save. Oh, this is for me for when I retire. I'm disabled. This is my retirement. This is, me making content and cutting my grass and cutting my daughter's grass. And tomorrow I'll be over there with my pole saw cutting down all the dead branches by her house. She's got 3 huge trees. So that is my, life. I don't need a gold nugget to stare at. I find matching pairs of nuggets. If I see 2 nuggets that are 1.2 and another one 1.25 or 1.18, I get those and they each have a little box and I put them in there. But I try to find gold shaped ones. So they don't have to be matching, but I don't have very many. I'll say that. So I have to like this one, say, it's a dragon heart, and I will replace it. Like if I see another 3 grammer that looks exactly like a heart, I will snag it and that one will go up for sale and I'll sell that one or trade it to them, trying not to lose too much money in the swap, but, hope that gold went up when I swap them. So. Oh, were you going to be cutthroating? Oh, Keith and Win. Thank you very much, Kristen. I try. I will say it's driving me crazy. I got to go over there. So I wasn't going to go over there tomorrow. So tomorrow I got to go over there and cut tree stuff. And then Thursday I have to go install a new water purifier in our sink because Indiana water sucks and nobody should have to be hauling, gallons of water to drink. And, the water's only going to get worse since, Doge cut EPA. Oh. So you going, Wrench? You making the trip? TM 107.35. Yeah, that's not 2 sides. That's not that is definitely not 2 sides. Here, let me see if I got let me see what other picture I have with next to the dime. Let me see, what is it? 7420. Here, we will swap out that image. There we go. There we go. So now you can see it next to a dime. It is a bigger nugget. So I will say, if you guessed really low, like in the 1 gram range, you were not close. If you guessed over the 4 gram range, you were not close. So we're going to give it like another 6 minutes and we'll start pulling some names, see who wins. If I can. Oh man, once I open up, Sundays are, Patreon Tuesdays are always really confusing because I have so many tabs open. I have all kinds of folders open and spreadsheets open. I'm always clicking the wrong thing. So, hey, Lord Shadow, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show as always. RAV4 instead of Tacoma. They're almost the exact same. Oh, man, that sucks. A RAV4 is not bad. It depends. If you get the hybrid one, you're going to have to plug it in. You get great gas mileage, but man, you're not going to have much space in it, man. Especially compared to the Tacoma. We can still drink out of the tap. Yeah, here you can't. It's Ohio River, Yeah. Barge River, no. Or a coal mining river. You definitely can't. It's funny. So my daughter, she bought one of the water testers, so you can test your water to see how many contaminants there are in it. And as soon as she dipped it in, it was red. I was like, "What did you think it was going to be?" Yeah. Just about stroked out for moving the own yard. Yeah, Jason, same thing. Jason from Flower Gold Wizard said he had to go take a shower. He just, yeah, it's hot. No. So the other day I mowed my daughter's grass. What was it? Like last Friday or something like that. And then I got home, cooled off, and I was like, well, my day's already shot. I might as well cut my grass too, because I was going to cut it the next day. But yeah, cutting grass is just, and I feel bad because, well, I don't really feel bad. I use the excuse I don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. to go cut my grass where it's nice and cool, because then you get the lawnmower gets clogged up from all the wet grass, and then I would have to wake up at 6 a.m. So I need to start cutting it at night, but it's the thing is, it doesn't cool off that much at night. You know, you drop from 90 to like 89. So then it gets even just more humid. So, oh, I love hybrids. My next car will be a hybrid. You know, I'm not a fan of EVs. I don't like EVs. I don't think EVs are there yet. The batteries cost too much. Placing a battery over 10 years is just not at where it's at. But hybrids are really good. I think hybrids are a great vehicle. Especially since they're not like those little bitty tiny cars anymore, you know, whatever those first hybrids were, where they were just like, you know, a little box. You can actually get some decent sized hybrids now that can carry stuff and, you know, haul butt and get you 50 miles a gallon. So, and you're not dependent on all these oil barons and their, you know, rotating who they're going to gouge now. You know, like, oh, I need a new yacht. Oil prices must go up. Ford Bronco, those are sweet. I like the new Ford Broncos. Those are pretty nice. Usually a lot of times they make these, you know, like we're coming back with a car, you just like, not it. But I think the Broncos, I think they did a really good job with the Broncos. You know, because they don't look like the old Broncos exactly. They kind of look like a smaller version of it, but they're, I think, a lot cooler. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the, you know, Chargers and things they came out with. You know, I just don't think they have as much coolness to them. So, but I did like the Bronco. You know, to mow the grass still. Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's too early to be cutting the grass, I think. I just keep waiting. You know, I always get the excuse like, oh, it's going to rain. Can't cut the grass. It's going to rain. But it hasn't been raining, which means it sucks. So I'm going to have to probably, you know, cut the grass. You know, we'll have to see. So I didn't cut it this weekend. The one thing that messes me up is like when you know it's going to rain, because it was supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday. So I cut the grass, I believe it was Thursday. I cut it a little bit early. And then, of course, it didn't rain Saturday and Sunday, which means that if I wait until this Saturday and Sunday to cut my grass, it's going to be super long and twice as hard and bigger pain in the butt. So, yeah, see, that's what gets me. Like, see, mowing the grass to me isn't the hardest part, you know, because that you can just kind of like, you know, zone out and go. It's once you just have to start, like, when it gets to you is when you're done, where you're like totally cutting the grass and you're like, okay, I'm done. You're drenched in sweat. You're ready to go inside. Then you're like, okay, now I got to start weed eating and, you know, pull out the leaf blower and, you know, spray bugs and weed killer. It's at the last things that then you're done and you just hate it. You're like, oh my God, I just want this to be over with. No. Mm. Crash, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. Yeah, and make sure, since I know some Lord Chat was just posting here, a couple things before we go and pull the stuff. Make sure Nightbot is going to be very nice and post a link to Ozark Bucks video about Operation for Pawsco. It's a donation raffle. It's $10 per spot, 3 spots maximum. I believe it's ending this week, but he might update it and say differently, or it might end at a different time. But it is ending soonish, and there's a ton of prizes. You know, I've got 2 half-gram bags up there. A whole bunch of people have half-gram bags, so there's a lot of prizes you can win. And like I said, only 3 entries per person, so you don't have to worry about someone with deep pockets buying up all the spots and winning the vast majority of the prizes. So. Toro electric mower. Yeah, see, that was one of the things I kind of wish I had on my lawnmowers. But I don't really care about my neighbor. So, you know, my one neighbor, he only cuts his grass once every 3 weeks when it's absolutely necessary. So, I mean, I have one neighbor that's got the tarp on his roof from 10 years ago and a tree growing out of his gutter. And then the other one is a nosy old person. So, you know. I think next Wednesday, yeah. It was grass stuff for like food and farming, yeah. I know my daughter originally, when she was looking for houses, the first house she put an offer in, or not the first house they were actually went through and they were trying to close on. The front yard had been gone. It was just dirt. They had pulled up all the grass and it was just dirt. And she was so excited because she was like, oh, we can just put down, you know, like the moss stuff. And they didn't have to ever, you know, 4-leaf clovers and stuff like that, where it's something where you never have to grow or, you know, cut it. I mean, she didn't think about weeds, which will grow through, but most of that stuff, it will block weeds, you know, if you do all that, if you do it right. And I was like, oh, you know, well, that would be a life. I kept thinking, well, maybe I should kill all my grass and put something down. But yeah, no. Instead, she bought a house with a big yard, bigger yard than mine. So then I have to go cut it. And then the worst thing is she's got a big yard and then tons of like walkways and stuff. So lots of weed eating. So yeah. No grass, it's all rock. Yeah. That's one thing in California I do miss in Palm Springs. Almost everyone's yard is just rocks. You know, they did not do that whole grass thing there very much, you know, except for at the country clubs. But, and also make sure you go to the top of pinned comment tonight. We have a hidden video. Go leave a comment for a chance to win one of these 8 envelopes, your pick. Inside of them are either a gold-plated dime or some Miller Prospecting gold. So, but all right, we're going to do the giveaway. Let's see who wins. Everyone's been looking at my ugly mug long enough. Let's see. Let's show the video. Let's get rid of the nugget. Show the video and see how close you are. So there we go. That was the nugget. We go pause it there. Pause it. There we go. 3.030. Now let's just start going through this sheet, see who won. Here we will put this down here so we can open up the review sheet. We're going to start with the $25.79 tier members just so KC can see where he's at. But there we go. $25 winner goes to number 11, James Culver. He was 0.12 away. James Culver is the winner of the 1.6 gram bag of Paydirt from Miller Prospecting. And I will say Culver has been a little under the weather. So, you know, this is good for him. I think, you know, hopefully it'll cheer him up and, you know, help him out a bit. So Culver Prospecting is winning the number 11 spot. Next month, everyone's going to be trying to just wait for number 10 guess so they could be number 11. In second place with a, what is the second place? 0.4 gram bag of Paydirt is going to go to Raptor Rides, one of my newer Patreon members. So congratulations, Raptor Rides. I didn't see him in here. Third place is going to Mike Reed, which is the Copper Silver Eagle. So Mike Reed, I know you're in chat. Congratulations, you're going to get that. And fourth place, stealing it from Win, is the 1 ounce copper round. So Weezen, hope you're proud of yourself for stealing that copper round from Keith and Win. So those are the $25.79 tier members. Congratulations. Thank you. Your prizes will all be going out tomorrow. If you are a $79 tier member, your Paydirt will be going out tomorrow as well. They're all bagged and ready. And usually I'm not this prepared, especially with a Patreon day being on the first of the month. So all those prizes are going out. Let me see. The weight was 3.03. There we go. 3.03, the nugget. And those are all the guesses. Casey. I told you, I gave you a fair warning. See, if it was rigged, everyone would be guessing number 11. Maybe Culver's the only person that listened. Maybe he just waited. He waited until he saw 10 guesses and just threw a guess in the wind and said, no matter what it is, I was just adding little pieces of gold to it, gluing more. Oh no, it was only a 2-gram nugget. Come on, Culver, why'd you guess 3.03? I got to add gold to it. Put a little bit more quartz on this face. So those were the winners for the $25, $79 tier. And now for the $10 tier. There we go. For the $10 tier, the winner was not the 11 spot. It was the 12 spot. And that goes to Richard Dow. So Richard Dow guessed it at 3.00. So Richard Dow will be winning a bag of Paydirt with 0.8 grams of gold in it. And second place was Jason Gastoni at 3.10. And Jason will be winning a sticker pack plus a 1-ounce copper round. And now we will go to the $5 tier. Make sure they're showing up. And in the $5 tier, it was guest number 16. Charles King was really, really close at 3.01. Almost nailed it. And you will be winning a bag of Paydirt with 0.4 grams of gold in it. So Charles King, congratulations. Second place in here is Jeff Boge. Jeff, you will be winning a sticker pack along with the 1-ounce copper round, courtesy of Whiskey Lover. So thank you very much for that. Then lastly, we're going to do the free members in 1 second. So if you're a free member, and now again, if you're a free member and you join and you guess, you have to email me and tell me you won, because Patreon does not give me a way to contact you. It does not let me have chat with you. It doesn't give me your address, nothing. I don't know why Patreon wants people to be free members and does nothing to allow me to communicate with them. So, you love stickers. Well, there you go. There's some in there. I might throw another one in there for you too. If I think I had one more sticker around here somewhere, so I'll throw that in there. So, and now let's do the free members. Show you up. Then we still have to do the hidden video for tonight and tell you about, because got some special gold coming up for this month. So we're doing the review sheet. There we go. Free members. This one was winner number 9. This goes to the Gold Baron. So the Gold Baron, you won a card. Not this one exactly, because these are my 2 I show off every week, and they're getting pretty scratched up from me rubbing them all against each other. But Gold Baron, I'll be sending you a card this week with a little bit of Miller Prospect and gold in it. You just can't cut that gold out and put it in one of your bags of Paydirt. That's the rule. So, but there we go. Those are all the winners. Congratulations to all my Patreon members. I couldn't thank you all enough. You're all wonderful and support this channel and, all kinds of wonderful things. So now, let me see. Hold on. Let me get, catch up on chat and stuff like that. So yeah, so this month I am going to be doing a lot of gold nugget sales videos. And some of them have some special gold in them. I'm not going to say exactly what kind of gold, but some of them have some special gold in them. So I'm going to be using all that gold. I will be taking out and putting towards my Patreon members. It will be going in the gold guessing contest. Whatever gold is in there will be going in the gold contest bags. If I have extra, then it will be going in the Patreon $79 tier members. So all the gold I'm going to be getting from Gold Nugget sales, the special gold, is all going to be specimen gold, or what I would consider maybe specimen gold. Those will all be going in the Patreon bags of Paydirt this month. So $79 tier members, you might not see too much of it because it is going to be going into the gold guessing one. I'm trying to think how much I have. So I have, it'll be close. Everyone should get a little bit of it. So everyone should get a little bit of it. If you're a $79 tier member, you'll get a little bit of it. I will try to put nicer pieces so it's from them if I can, But if you're gold guessing, if you're just in it for the gold guessing contest, it will probably be half and half. So everyone should get a little bit of this gold, And you're welcome, Jeff. Thank you very much for being a Patreon member. I appreciate y'all. I couldn't thank y'all enough. I wish there was a way I could just, push a button every day to thank everyone. And, I guess I could just type it on Patreon, but half of y'all don't read it anyway. Barbecue Robs. I've never had those. I've had barbecue ribs before, but are Robs any better? You just throw the whole thing on there, like they name the cow. Hey, you're Rob. Bam. Throw them on there. Hey, Rich, how's it going? A3 Sky Warrior. Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it. Yeah. I might do that. So I'll do that. That's Friday. I'm gonna get me some hot dogs. I haven't had hot dogs in a while. See, hot dogs are my guilty pleasure. You know, hamburgers to me, I can have hamburger meat. You know, spaghetti, it's got hamburger meat in it. Tacos, hamburger meat in it. You know, every once in a while, my son wants to go to Wendy's or something like that. We'll grab hamburgers. So, but hot dogs I don't get very often. So that's one of my guilty pleasures is I enjoy hot dogs. So I'll probably get hot dogs for that. So. For 4th of July. I will have to go grocery shopping though, which means I better do it soon because, you know, everyone's going to show up at Walmart Friday in their underwear. Mac and cheese and dogs. There you go. So I'm actually having mac and cheese tonight. Tuesdays I always make something really simple and just after the show I can sit back and I'm not spending a lot of time cooking and so I usually do mac and cheese or ramen soup. Those are my two Tuesday night go-tos, either mac and cheese or go-to. And then some tuna. I'll throw some tuna in either one of them. So, but yeah, Friday, 4th of July, I'll have to remember that. Get some hot dogs. I'll have to cut my grass Thursday or something to make it worth it. So I don't feel like, I'm gaining weight. So ever had real street dogs, Miller? It depends on what you consider street dogs. I grew up in New Orleans where we used to have these things called lucky dogs. So funny to say, so if you're ever in New Orleans, don't eat them, but typically most people do. There's these carts, they're shaped like a hot dog, and you're walking up and down Bourbon Street, and they sell hot dogs, It's just like a typical street vendor of hot dogs. But the thing is, the owner of the company, now this might have changed since I've grown up. They might not be there anymore. I don't know. I haven't been in New Orleans in, forever. But when I was growing up, they only hired homeless people. Homeless people would go out and they'd push the carts out. They would give them, $10. They'd say, here's $10 in change. You go out, you sell the hot dogs, you come back and you get, they swap them out. And they would send guys out to collect the money from all the time, but they would only be homeless people. And it was like, do you really want your hot dogs? And they were notoriously bad for making you really, really sick, but they used to sell like crazy and they tasted really, really good. But, everyone knew they didn't change out the water ever. And then you got some wino sticking his hand in it all the time. So I've had some street dogs before. I won't say they were good, but I do love beer brats. Those two, yeah. Costco ones. I haven't ever had the Costco ones. Really like some barbecue ribs. Yeah, barbecue ribs are good. I'm not a huge fan of them. They're too pricey. It's one of those things where, when things get popular, they stop being fun to me because they gouge you. Like wings. I remember I was at the age when you could go to a bar and you could get wings for $0.25 a piece, because they were just trying to bring you in to buy that $1 beer. And they'd be like, oh yeah, the wings, wing companies didn't care. At the time, chicken factories would essentially give the wings away if they bought other products because the wings were worthless. And then wings became super popular. And every place started opening up places like Buffalo Wild Wings. And they realized, hey, we can sell these wings to Buffalo Wild Wings for $1 a piece instead of the penny we were selling to them before. And now you go and you go to a bar and you're like, oh yeah, how much are 8 wings? And they tell you $14. And you're like, really? He's like, I remember when they were $0.25. So, yeah, once things become popular, it's, some steaks that used to be, it's just, and ribs is one of those things. They were, they used to never be the most popular thing, but then when they got popular, price gouging. So, no, I got to eat that. Trying to keep up with chat, but when I talk, I stop reading. So, how's it going, Culver? Congratulations, you won today. So you had the best guess for the $25.79 tier. So I'll be sending you a bag of Paydirt with 1.6 grams of gold in it, and you can just take it out, put it in a bag of Culver Prospecting Paydirt. Mm. Finished 8th at the local track. Yeah. Yeah, steaks are just, that's what I said. I don't eat very much. I eat a lot of chicken, ground meat. I will say I do buy nicer, I buy grass fed ground beef just so it's, and less fatty stuff. I don't buy the stuff in the tube or anything like that. But it's just crazy when you look at steaks. I went to go look the other day. It was my son. He had been helping me do stuff. So I was like, he wanted a taco salad, but with steak. So we went and got, it is crazy. You look at some of these things. It's like, who's going to pay $50 for, 2 ribeyes? I can just imagine what it is in a restaurant, Get pulverized. There you go. We had a place that made their own dogs. That's when I went to 3. Yeah. I mean, I just love hot dogs. Like when I go, my son, like, whenever, we don't do it very often, maybe once a month, he gets, he'll want to order something out to eat, like if I've had a long day or something like that. And usually he picks Wendy's, that's his place. He likes his, Baconator and stuff like that. But every once in a while he'll say, oh, let's get Sonic. And then I can be like, okay, I'm getting a hot dog. Got to get a hot dog from Sonic. And I'm not a huge fan of the hot dogs because one, by the time you get it, it's all smashed and horrible. But, there's no, what's the old Fuddruckers around me, so you can't go there. So. Aren't all cows grass-fed? No, they're not. No. And it's even in my mind, so I know grass-fed, free range and grass-fed are a hack. It's not a real thing, and I know that, but just in my mind, I buy them. So legally, for a cow to be considered grass-fed, it only has to have been fed grass a few times. It doesn't have to have a all grass diet. It has to have some, but not like what you would think where it's out in the pasture. And the same thing is free range. Like if you go to a free range chicken, it can spend 90% of its life in a cage. If they let it out 10% of the time, it's considered free range. Same thing with Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs can tell you they have 0 calories, but they don't. That whole container has about 100 calories. But if it's low enough in one item, they can, trick you. So, but yeah, not all most cows aren't grass fed. A lot of them are just sit in those little cages and just get fed whatever they're going to eat. So, which is better than pigs. There's a good documentary about pigs in Vegas, where they show all the buffet food when it's done, like what people eat, what they don't eat, and they throw it in bins. That's all fed to the pigs in Las Vegas. So getting a tomahawk steak, that is one steak I've always wanted, is a tomahawk steak. But here I see them. Where did I see them? I saw them, I think it was Meyer Grocery. I think the other day I was shopping online. I was flicking through their thing looking for something, and I saw they had tomahawk steaks. And I was like, oh my. I was like, should I really? But then I would have to put it on a credit card. And if I would have had to put a tomahawk steak on a credit card, because I think it was like $50 for me and my son. It was going to be like a, treat for end of the summer or something like that. By the time I would have paid off that credit card, they would have been $100 steaks. So, but yeah, that is one I've always wanted. Ann Burrell, who recently passed. Ann Burrell, I was watching a show with her probably 10 years ago. And she was cooking, I forget what show, it was on like Top Chef or one of these shows. And she was cooking tomahawk steaks. And since then, I've always been like, oh man, that's the one. Or maybe they were showing her restaurant and that was her key thing. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was Ann Burrell, because when she recently passed, I was like, tomahawk girl. Every cow I've ever seen it, but depends on where you're at. Are the cows you're seeing, are they the ones that go to the Walmart tubes? Prisons for cows. We eat very little meat. Yeah, I don't eat very much. Like I said, we have red meat maybe once a week, and it's usually tacos. 90% of the time, if I'm eating red meat, it's tacos. Tomahawks are so good. So, when I was living in California and I used to make money, we used to eat ribeyes a lot. That was my preference. When I was married at the time, my ex, she preferred fillets. But she'd get a fillet and I'd get a ribeye, or we'd swap. Like we'd get ribeyes one week, fillets the next. But I made a lot of money back then, but we had the exact same stuff. We had an apartment, furniture, clothes, and we just ate a lot better. And I drank, $100 bottles of wine more often. But that was about it. Quality of life might have been a little bit better with food and drink, but that was about it. Yeah, that's the way to do it, A3. I know a couple people that do that where they've got a little bit of land, they grow their own cow. There's some people that they'll just send it off to the butcher, get it all back, throw it in a deep freezer, and they know. They can say that was Elsie. That was Elsie's ribs. That was Elsie's ribeye. Yeah, when ribeyes. Yeah, but then, like I said, back then when we lived in California, that was 18 years ago, something like that. So yeah, and even then it was, back then I thought it was expensive, but yeah, ribeyes were, $10 a pound. Nowadays I don't even know. That's why I don't even look at the meat section anymore. Very rarely. 90% of the time I'm just like, okay, where's the chicken? Just going straight to the chicken aisle. But that's about it. But real quick, make sure, go to the top. It's over here. Pinned comment. Make sure you go to the pinned comment above if you haven't already, and leave a comment in the hidden video. We got about 3 minutes. We're going to pull a name. You will have your choice. One of these 8 envelopes if you're a winner. They're numbered 1 through 10, but number 1 and number 7 are missing. So yeah, it's crazy. Meatloaf. It's funny. I look, and you know what's the funniest part? If you Google, so, when my daughter would come over and her boyfriend would come over, it ends up being 5 people. So every once in a while I'd be like, let me Google to see, cheap meals for 5 or 6. And the number one thing that usually comes up is meatloaf. And then you look and you say, well, meatloaf isn't cheap when you put in the breadcrumbs, 2.5 pounds of ground meat. You're like, yeah. Unless you're buying like the really cheap tube meat that's like 70%, 30, it includes gristle and bone and everything else. Yeah, it's just not cheap. And you're like, well, yeah, that's not the way to do it. Get some spaghetti sauce and 1 pound of ground meat feeds 5. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, but see, my yard's too small for a cow. I mean, I guess I could put one back there. My neighbors would hate me, so. Dirty Nugget Prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for doing the show. I'm doing good. Can't complain. Getting ready to go make some mac and cheese, watch some TV. No, don't say that, TM. Don't say that to me. She just bought her house. Ours never get names. Yeah, that's what I couldn't do it. Like I watched one of the channels I watched, they name everything. They name all their meat cows, they name their meat chickens and everything. I was like, oh no, I couldn't do that. So Wagyu meatloaf. There you go. I was, where was I? I think I was at Sam's Club the other day and they had the like Wagyu ground beef. I was like, come on. We all know it's not going to be Wagyu ground beef. It's just like, you just put some extra fat in it and just said it. Yeah, no. That Wagyu beef, ground beef, it's just 70-30. The cheap stuff out of roll. One of the tubes break. Oh, the tube broke. What are we going to do? Hey, put it in new packaging. Say it's Wagyu. Hey, Dina. Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Sprinkles with gold leaf. All right. Let me set up for the hidden comment, and we'll do that. Then I will. Yeah, we're going to say that. I don't know what's wrong with it. We'll do that. So let me make sure. I don't know why it's not opening. There we go. Let me get the comments and make sure all the comments are going through. Published, held. All right, they all went through. All right, and did I get it? Yeah. All right. So yeah, so we're gonna go pull the hidden comment again. You will get to pick your envelope. It's 1 through 10, but minus number 1, minus number 7. This is gonna get more complicated the more we go through these. But before that, Saturday I do have a video coming out. This is, like I said, the first month, or the whole month, is going to be Gold Nugget sales stuff. All the videos, or most of the videos, all the Paydirt is going to be Gold Nugget sales. Including what I pan out on Tuesdays. Now, if you're a Patreon member, I haven't figured out exactly how, but this month during Tuesday, I'm going to be giving away a lot of Gold Nugget sales Paydirt. You can see those bags behind me. Some of those are the ones that are up there. Right now I have 5 bags. I believe I have some more coming in the mail from Mike at Gold Nugget Sales. And we're going to be giving away either 1 or 2 bags every single Tuesday. If it's 1 bag, it will be open to everybody, Patreon members or just people in the live show. If I give away 2 bags, 1 will be open to everyone, including Patreon members, and 1 bag will be exclusive for Patreon members, since y'all are the lifeblood of this channel. You're the ones that support me, allow me to keep doing this channel. So, you know, I want to give back to y'all, or make sure y'all win as many prizes as possible, so you keep supporting the channel. Otherwise, you know, I close up, go home, and say goodnight. So we'll be having those. I do have, we're going to have a video every single week this month. This month we'll have a video every single Saturday. I might actually have 2 if I can finish up the long-awaited sleuth video. That will be dropping at a random day. It won't be on a Saturday. This Saturday I have a video from Gold Nugget Sales. Next week will be the gold guessing contest video. So I will be putting a new nugget up. I don't know where I'm going to get this nugget from. I have to look. I might have one. I might do a hint on it too. So, and then I won't be panning this one out though, because the gold nugget I think I'm going to use, I wouldn't want to pan. It's a specimen gold. And then the next Saturday after that, the next 2 Saturdays after that, will be Gold Nugget sales stuff. So, saving copper pennies. No worries. So, but yeah, let me go. Let's shrink down the ugly mug. Let me make sure. Let me close this up. Make sure I have the window capture working. Yep. So let's shrink down the ugly mug. Do the local gold guessing, the hidden video gold guessing. Then I will let y'all go do some stuff and not look at the ugly mug. But before we do that, again, thank you all for being Patreon members. This is an appreciation show just to thank y'all. I couldn't thank you all enough. I never will be able to thank you all enough. Even when I retire from this, I will still be thinking about all my Patreon members and thanking y'all for all the time you've allowed me to make these videos and find the best Paydirts and the worst Paydirts, you know, for a hobby that I absolutely love doing. So thank you all very much. And now let's shrink down the ugly. So, there we go. Let's shrink. Nope, I'm shrinking down the wrong one. Shrink down the ugly mug. One of these days I will make it all so I can just click a button and get this stuff done. But until then, here we go. The absolute best website, internet. Last couple of videos. Miner's Catch Freya's bag, Gold Baron Paydirt, the Iron Death bag, and where to sell placer gold in 2025. Now, I did get some people reach out to me and tell me that they didn't get those quotes of what I told people. Some people are paying higher than what I said. Some people are paying lower. And the whole thing behind the where to sell placer gold is so you get a general idea. If a seller just bought 20 ounces of gold, they're obviously not going to need gold, and then they're going to give you a lower price. Whereas some guy that might normally give a low price might be out of gold and will pay you a higher price. But if you know the general amount that you should be getting paid, you won't get suckered into a low, you know, if you see that the average gold Paydirt vendor is paying 80 to 85%, if one of them gives you an offer of 60%, you know, don't go with them, go to somebody else. It's also giving you lots of options. You can send a picture to every single one of them and just go with whoever pays you the most, you know, whoever you like the most. So, but there you go. And there's always the top 10 recommended sellers. Gold Nugget Sales, #1 on there. That's why we're doing a whole month of his Paydirt this month. Whole month, bunch of videos for Gold Nugget Sales. But here we go. And I will say, Mike at Gold Nugget Sales is putting out a whole bunch of gold Paydirt. A whole bunch of new ones are coming out, or old ones are coming back. I know he just brought back, I think the Colorado bag just came out yesterday again, is on stock. The high grader is coming back this month. So if you love the high grader, it is coming back this month. Christmas in July. I don't know if he wanted me to tell everybody. I'm saying it anyway. Christmas in July will be out this month. So he's got a lot of Paydirts coming out this month. Yeah, so there we go. And now let's pull the name. And again, as always, you must post something in the live chat because otherwise I won't know what envelope you want. Must post in live chat. Envelopes 1 through 10, minus number 1 and minus number 7. Let's see who it goes to. Here we go. Rockhound Dave. So congratulations to Rockhound Dave. Good luck all. Staying amazing as gold. So there we go. Rockhound Dave. Hopefully you're in chat and you can post something. Tell me which envelope you want. 1 through 10, minus number 1 and minus number 7. You cannot pick number 1 or number 7. So congratulations, Rockhound Dave. Let us now make you all look at the ugly mug, full size. Well, we congratulate and we wait for Rockhound Dave to pick his number. There we go. Some milk on him. Hey, David. No, that one is, I have a video. So yeah, my video will be talking about that, David, this Saturday. So is that you, David? Yeah, so tell me which one you want. 4? So David, number 4. I should have recognized the thumbnail. See, I swear my eyes are getting worse. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, man, I think I need to go up in magnification. I was like, oh, I don't want to spend more money on glasses getting a new magnification. So I've kind of been pushing it, but I think I might have to. But there you go. Envelope number 4. That's yours. That will be going out here. Let me write on it so I don't forget. David. So there we go. That will be going out tonight. If you are a $79 tier member, your Paydirts are already packaged up. Your guaranteed gold Paydirt is already packaged up. That will be going out probably tonight. I will probably mail yours out tonight. If you won today, like Culver or any of the other people, the sticker packs, all these things, those will be going out tomorrow. I will package them all up today and then take them to the post office tomorrow. So no worries, David. Yeah, YouTube. And it's weird because like sometimes if I do it, like I'll do the comment picker. Sometimes it'll show the YouTube name and then sometimes it shows the other one. So you never know what YouTube's going to do. They try to make everything more difficult, you know. But congratulations. I should have, you know, like I said, the picture. You know. But yeah, so I'm going to get out of here. Remember, Saturday I will have a video coming out, a gold nugget sales video. Tuesday, I will be panning out a really, really special bag of Paydirt from Gold Nugget Sales. Very, very special bag of Paydirt. Cost me a pretty penny. And that Paydirt, the gold that I get from Saturday's video as well as this Tuesday's video will be going into the Patreon Paydirt. So all that gold that you're going to see, and there's a lot of it, some really beautiful gold, is going to be going in the Patreon Paydirt this month. And then this Tuesday, I'll also be giving away behind me some gold nugget sales Paydirt. So you definitely want to come to the Tuesday shows this month, celebrate. You want to visit goldnuggetsales.com, check out his new lineup for July. He's getting some Paydirts back that have been out of stock for a while. So I know he told me he's waiting on some boxes of dirt to arrive. So that's it. What's that, Pazanias? So, but yeah, so Saturday, new video. Next Tuesday, we're going to be panning out some Paydirt. Do I have it? I don't think. Oh, no, it's over here. The Paydirt's over here, so I can't even show you what it is. Oh, it wouldn't matter anyway because it's in the wrong bag. He had just put it in a bag. So, but yeah, Saturday, new video. Tuesday, some new Paydirt. And I will be thinking of a way so Patreon members can have a better chance of winning. You know, so thank you all very much for being Patreon members. Thank you if you're just a subscriber and you're watching the channel. If you're not yet a Patreon member, think about it. You know, support always helps me continue these videos, make bigger videos, better videos. But if you can't, I appreciate you just watching. So, but I'm out of here. Thanks very much. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has an absolutely banger of a week, and I will see you all next Tuesday.